guys, it's your girl Tina here from TLC in the Garden. Just giving you a brief overview of what's growing on my Cleveland, Ohio Zone 6B apartment balcony garden. And finishing up this video with the challenge that Lady Linda put out there for us for our Spring Garden 2021 wrap up. So, here's the first question. What will you have a garden in 2022? Definitely. I don't see there being a year or a season that I won't be either growing outdoors or indoors ever. Gonna get a grow tent and put it up indoors so I can garden year round. Not too much will actually grow in our winters here with all the cold and snow. So at that point, we'll just bring what we can indoors and grow that way. Number two, what vegetable will you not grow in 2022? I won't grow store-bought potatoes next year. The production just wasn't there for me. This was my second year growing it. I figured I'd try it this year to see if there was something that I did wrong last year. And production's been about the same. It's pretty dismal for me. So we won't be doing that going further. What vegetable you enjoy growing the most in 2021? My cherry tomatoes and my chard. That chard is just a beast, whether it's cold, hot, in between. It just wants to grow and produce. So I can see myself honestly saying that that will always be growing in my garden. And it's just so tasty, and you can cook it, you can eat it raw in a salad. It's so versatile that it will always be somewhere on my balcony or in my house growing. And my cherry tomatoes. Now, I've grown regular tomatoes in the past. This was my first year doing exclusively just the cherry tomatoes. And those have been a beast this year. I was actually surprised with the output. So that's made for some tasty snacks and lunches while I'm out in the garden even. Number four. What is one thing about 2021 growing season you will not do in 2022? After this season going forward, I can honestly say we will not be using watering cans as the primary way of watering. We will be getting a hose that will attach to my kitchen sink to make my life easier, less trips walking back and forth through my house. That is the one thing that's going to definitely be changing. Number five, name three vegetables you have never grown but will grow in 2022. Well, after sitting in on enough lives with people, Lady Linda, Turf, you got me. We will be trying the kohlrabi next year. Gonna get some seeds and be ready and study up on when to drop them from my zone, and we'll see what happens next year with it. Outside of that, we're gonna do seed potatoes, and that'll be my first season doing that. And not sure necessarily another vegetable. We might try an acorn squash or spaghetti squash, but definitely I want to get more into fruits and fruit bushes, blueberries, blackberries. I'm getting ready to actually drop some ground cherries. Thanks, Lady Linda, for the seeds. We'll see how that does. It still should be enough time before we hit frost here to get at least one harvest. And number six, sum up your spring 2021 gardening season. For me, hard and difficult. Um, Not having a lot of room outside, I've learned that placement means a lot. Even on the shelf, trying to place so everything gets the correct amount of sun or what's best for it to grow has been a struggle, and I've learned from it. Um, this is my first year battling with pests. The aphids just took out my kale, and that could be because of lack of airflow, neglect, who knows. There have been times during this season that I actually have neglected the garden. Sorry, little loofah plant. I really tried, but I forgot to water you. And now you're a crispy critter. Um, but it's been difficult. As a few of you know, through chatting with me and through email, the day after Mother's Day, I lost my 28-year-old son. He survived by his 8-year-old stepdaughter that he was in the process of adopting, his 2-year-old, and his 1-year-old surviving twin daughter, who we just brought home a week and a half ago from NICU. She spent her first 378 days in NICU. And it was bittersweet bringing her home because he had been waiting for that for so long and he never got to bring her home. She was born at weighing only 4 ounces at 23 weeks gestation. Her twin brother was born weighing 3 ounces, and he only lived for 5 days. So it's been bittersweet. It's been hard. It's been difficult. With losing my grandson last year, even though it was only after a few days, losing my only grandson, and now losing my oldest son. He was the only one of my 3 children that were grown. I also have a 17-year-old son. And some of you might have seen in one of my videos my 11-year-old daughter. But it's been hard. And unfortunately, my garden has paid the price. There have been days where I just didn't want to be bothered with it, couldn't be bothered with it, because my head and my heart weren't in the game. So that's been the biggest struggle for me this gardening season, is dealing with his death. But hopefully things will get better. There are brighter days ahead. Spend time with the grandbabies. Wait on my newest grandbaby. They told me that Mother's Day weekend that I have a new grandbaby on the way that should be here late January. So just spend time with my kids, spend time with the grands, and garden. And that pretty much sums up life for this gardening season. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for your continued support. And I'll see you out there in the garden universe. Bye-bye, y'all.